Hey everyone, Smelting here and welcome to another episode of Factorio. So I was a little busy in between episodes and started to convert our metal area over. Copper's going well, it's backed up. Iron is nowhere near backed up and probably doesn't help that things down here are really starting to die off. So our sapphirite is getting to an end pretty much. Let's grab, what have I got? Got a couple of large area mining drills I've made here. Maybe I can pick up the last sort of bit with one drill. Perhaps. Yeah, I probably can. Rotate this guy around. Oops, wrong button. And we'll just place him here. Okay, so that'll do that last little bit of the sapphirite. I'm going to need to run something out here. I don't have trains or anything yet, so that's something that I need to work towards. Otherwise, I'm just going to have to run this really, really long belt. And at this point, the belt needs to go into here somewhere. I could move things. I could move it around so that it's all out this way and we bring it in as processed sapphirite. Maybe that's something we can do, and then, I don't know, bring the bottom in here. You can see I've been doing some research into electrolysis, and the reason I was doing that is that while the iron and the copper are both fairly straightforward conversions over, so this one here, it just requires the iron. Once you start getting into the more advanced conversions, like this one here, which is where, oh excuse me, I was trying to do lead. We also need oxygen. So to get oxygen, we're going to need to have a process as well, and I've got it started up the top here. Just one thing of note is that I started to redirect all the belts and things here. I originally had all that stuff going into a chest, and that wasn't working. That was getting full very quick. All this crushed stone. So this system isn't great. Well, I know that, you know, it's not doing what it should, and this isn't going so well either. So I probably need to turn this so that it's hitting the other side of the belt. I think I can do that here. Maybe not. I need to go one more for it to work. So let's move our little dude here. And place him back down further up. Right, so that should keep both of them processing and getting some more material up here. Our crushed stone is going this way now, and our slag is being processed in an ore crusher here, back down to crushed stone. I mean, there's not many other uses for slag actually. Let's have a bit of a look here. Well, I don't have a lot of uses yet. So here's slag, usage for it. It'll go into concrete, which is fine once we get cement and water. So that may be something, maybe a good use for it. I may end up cutting this off. Slag slurry or crushed stone. So maybe concrete's a thing, because once I get that cement processing too, that might be a way of doing it. We still need to make cement from silicon and lime. I do have the silicon byproduct somewhere up here that I was turning into glass. Perhaps we can find out how to get lime. Lime comes from limestone. Limestone comes from light mud, water, and water. Okay, that looks like the easiest one. Light mud, water comes from concentrated mud, water, and water. And that comes from heavy mud water. And it comes from viscous mud water, not vicious, viscous. Which comes from mud and water. Oh my gosh. There's lots of like... That's a rabbit hole. I'm out. Alright, so I started setting up the rubite one to make the lead. Obviously rubite gives lead and nickel. And I think nickel is exactly the same process in terms of this sort of thing. Probably not the best to set this stuff up here. I'm probably better off having this belt come up over here somewhere and then bring the product back, but I don't know. It's a bit at a time sort of thing at the moment. The lead plates are all but done here. Just gotta wait for it to empty out. Does it say it has negative 184 plates? Oh no, it's just a little mark on the edge of it. I'm going, hang on, what? Alright, so up here we have a little setup. We've got an offshore pump leading into a hydro plant. The hydro plant will split out and give us water. It takes in water, sorry, and gives us... It's a water purification setup. So we've got two types of water coming out of here. One is purified, and the other needs to go somewhere. And I don't have anywhere for it to go yet. What's the other one? The other one... I don't think I can hold it over here. Let's grab... a couple of pipes. Saline water. So I need to find a use for that. No, sorry, it's a liquid. Let's change that one and go... that one? What's the usage for it? Something simple. Turns into brown algae in an algae farm. So that's potentially where we're going to put that. So can I make an algae farm? Hopefully I can. Alright, let's make an algae farm. Oh, that's not an L. Okay, to make an algae farm, I just need some more iron plates. That's alright. So let's grab some iron plates before they go too far. Didn't need many either, did I? Wherever that ended up going, so it's in here. It's a basic farm. I don't know, the Factorio just updated, so I'm still working through what's new, what's different. So Electrolysis 2 gave me storage tanks, which is something that I was looking for. Steam Power 1. I don't know whether that's any better than what I'm currently using, but it's only 50 Science Pack 1, so I'm just going to hit research on it and just let it go. Okay, and that's moving fairly quickly. Something else that I've researched is I've researched loaders. So I added mini loaders pretty much. It's a part of Bob's, I think. And I'm using them up here. So I have a mini loader here feeding into this silo for our crushed stone, because otherwise I had nowhere for it to go. It's fairly backed up. And on the other side of things, I kind of want to do the same processing with stereotype as I do with the sapphirite, and run the result down to that system, because it, from what I recall, it splits into the same material. So it splits into copper and iron. So worst case, I run that system down to here to keep this system running, get some more iron producing down here, or I replicate the system up the top, and I think this is probably the better option. We definitely need more iron. We always need iron. We don't need the copper as much. But yeah, so I got a load of feeding in here. I've still got a couple left on my bar here. And this is just feeding out when it needs stone. But because I'm not using a lot off the bus at the moment, we're not really using a lot of stone here. So I don't know what I'm going to end up doing with all that stone. It's going to become a problem eventually. Which is why that concrete thing may be a good idea. Anyway, let's look at this area up here. We've got our algae thing that I need to hook up. Probably need a couple of those tanks though, don't I? Let's see. Where do they go? Okay, storage tanks. I'm going to take some iron and some steel. We have some bigger ones. I've got no way of getting this stuff yet. I need orange stuff and all that. Alright, so need some iron. Don't believe I have a chest with just iron in it either. Oh, steam power is done. Don't really want to grab too much stuff here, but that's fine. Probably got tons of copper. What's next? Oh, push T. Paper making. I'll do that. Obviously, one of the things I need to automate is our little nanobots as well. And I haven't set that up yet because that is fairly basic, and I think I pointed this out in the last one. It's here, it's iron axes and repair packs, so whoops, didn't want to make them. Iron axes require iron sticks and iron plates, and steel axes. So repair pack is iron gear wheels and basic circuit boards, so it's not that bad. So I may just split off some iron gear wheels and basic circuit boards and start making these. So might be something we do in a couple of minutes once I've finished doing what I'm setting up over here. So yeah, I don't know whether that new steam engine's any better than what we're doing here, because he's put out 1.2 megawatt. And that steam engine, boiler Mark II, well, maybe the boiler, because we don't have decent boilers here. We've got this one consumes 3.6 megawatts. Its efficiency is 50. This one consumes 5.3 megawatts and its efficiency is 60. Yeah, nah. This makes 900 at 30 and 165. This one makes 1.6 at 36 and 1 at 235. And I'm running wherever those other ones are here. Makes 1.2 at 25 and 250. So I think I'll keep these going because they seem okay. Still think we're doing okay. Worst case, I put another boiler and another row. So tanks. Where are they? Tanks, you very much. Tank. Probably just better to store these liquids. So maybe I'll move this along. It's already produced stuff, but either that or I'll just pop these pipes off. Wood processing 2 is finished. A tree arboretum, that is something that may be quite handy, because making the wood would be quite good for us. But advanced mechanical refining, so this only gives ferrous and cupric. I don't think I've got them on the map. Not sure what else we've got that we could be doing. No, you know what? Tree Arboretum sounds good. Let's get these 2 tanks that we've just made, and my inventory is getting quite full. One here and one here. Probably should have rotated this one. That's alright. I'll do this the other way. I think sneak through allows me to get through there. Yes, it does. Okay. This setup is going up to another area, and that should be processing at the moment because this has got not a lot in it. It's not a huge byproduct, but it's something that we're going to need. So this is chewing its way through, making us some nice water, and then turning it into oxygen and hydrogen. So again, we're going to need that 3rd tank probably. Probably actually need another 2. Yeah, we're going to need another 2. Because I'll make one for the hydrogen, one for the oxygen. The long and short of it is we're going to need the hydrogen to be stored somewhere for the moment. Which one's which? I think red is oxygen. I think that's what we need down here, isn't it? Yeah, we need the red one in. Yeah, so the hydrogen just needs to go into a tank for the moment. Oh, that's not the button I want. Neither is that. Oh my gosh. Butterfingers today. Pipes. Okay, so that'll go into there. Bring this out. And we will bring him downwards. Oh, goodness me, my fingers are just all over in the wrong spots today. Okay, that'll do. Let's get these and hook this up. Put oxygen on there, and then okay. We're now producing this, which I ran this for too long of a distance because it was running to these, and that doesn't need to go there anymore. So let's put lead. All this junk. All this junk. Okay. So that's now producing lead. And what are we outputting here? I don't know what the process is with this one. Okay, let's check out our... that one maybe? Sulfur dioxide. Yep, pardon me, that's where it's coming from. What's our usage? Turn it into sulfuric acid. Pulping liquor. Paper. So yeah, we don't have a lot for it, but if we add purified water to it, we can get sulfuric acid, which turns into batteries apparently. I wonder if there's a void mechanic in this yet. Probably is like overflow valves or something. Let's look into that. Overflow valves allows flow. Do we have a like an ejector? Some sort of way of voiding liquid. I don't know. Things are going to stop soon. Yoiki liquids. Pipe valve. The big tanks. It's just got to be a way of, like, voiding stuff. I'll look into it. What's in here? Just plates. We're not using a heap of lead anyway. Alright. Before we get too sidetracked, let's start some more research. And I kind of do want to get into making one of those buildings, the factory things. It's going to take me a lot more stone, I think it was, to do that. Not sure where they hide in this setup. The Factorissimo mod. Okay. Lots of iron plates to make a factory building. Lots and lots and lots of iron plates. But it would be interesting to see what we can do, and I'm still waiting for these to empty out from the steel side. It would be interesting to see what we can do with the factories and perhaps our ore processing. Oop, bumped my microphone there. Yeah, perhaps our ore processing, just to see whether we can, you know, make use of it well and end up having just like a building where we just pump our ores into, and out comes our, in the case of, you know, sapphirite and stereotype, maybe our iron and copper plates come pumping out the other side. That would be cool. Alright, let's, while we've still got some time in the episode, quickly set up our nanobots. And again, this is just going to be basic setup. I'm going to need a few of them. So what do we need to do? We need to make nanobots. So to do that we needed iron axes, I think it was. Iron axes and repair packs. So iron axes require iron, repair packs require iron gears and basic circuit boards. So probably get that done up here. We need basic circuit boards from there. We're going to need iron gear wheels. Probably iron next actually. And then iron gear wheels. Let's go a little bit further forward. Okay. So these ones coming up here. And as we normally do, bring it up like this. Should be enough. Silly, but enough. And that's right that way. Let's see here. This one needs to go under like that. That could be like that. Knew that happen. Okay. Spaghetti in its finest. Okay. Is that what we need to do? Let's check. And there. And there. Awesome. And then this one needs to keep going. Nice. That should give us our materials that we need. Alright, let's work out what we can do here. So we obviously need a couple of things. And it's just a case of working out what we need to do here. These can be redirected some other place. So what might be easier is the repair packs first to get rid of the iron gear wheels and the basic circuit boards. Yep, let's do that. Let's take you. And is this a even split? Yes, it is. You may end up going that way, my friend. And then these guys can do this. Like so. Oops. Put that down. And you are making power packs. Just need some power. Nice. And I might speed that up. I don't know yet. We'll work it out in a second. The iron plates, you can come this way. And again, as I said, spaghetti. Iron plates will need to go into making iron sticks, but they also need to go into making... Maybe we can have our result here. Okay. So this will be that. This will be iron axes, and this will be iron sticks. So we need iron in here, like that, and then output. However that output looks. Whether that comes back down onto the belt, which would be at about here, or whether we just put it into a chest. This sort of thing probably doesn't need to go onto the belt. I'd say we just pop him into a chest. So power would be helpful. Need more power poles. Get some of them made. And then we just need to get belts. Whoops. Something like that. Okay, now that should just very, very slowly, and again, it is very slow. You probably can be a fast inserter, I think. Just because you're moving 2 items. Yeah, look, it's catching up anyway, right? It's either that or I put a second. Did I run out? Oh no, I had another one here. I don't think it needs both, but that's fine. Alright, paper making. I'm going to do this one anyway. So yeah, it's nice little, you know, use of our materials. Obviously we're using a ton of iron we didn't really need to use, but that's fine. We're getting our nanobots. So we'll now be able to, once this builds up a bit, we'll be able to autocraft stuff. I'll have to bring the bus through, I guess. Back up as we do to a certain point. Oh, am I out of belts? I'm out of belts. Where are my belts? Down here somewhere. 400 belts. Should keep us going. Okay, so obviously I need to get those iron plates and make the factory. Short of just sort of, oh, and look what I didn't do there. Weak. I know honestly we're trying to make these things here, but I'd like to do this factory building, so I don't know how many plates I've got, probably not heaps. 114. I need a lot more than what I've got. What? got some iron ingots there that need to be collected. And I am basically just chewing all the iron up off the line here. I'd like to get this building made. I'd kind of like to see how that looks. Yeah, let's give you range. That's fine. So I do need to do a lot more work in regards to ore processing and getting more material in order to have more iron, because that is where we're weak. So I think I will, in between episodes, set up the processing here into the proper separation, same as we've got down the bottom. So maybe I'm probably just going to bring that round because we've got a fairly decent patch of stereotype there. Maybe I'll set up some bigger miners and run the process back down here into this sort of area so that it can be processed through here. So anyway, I've just looked at the time. It is wrapping up point. I'm going to throw that in there, and please leave those comments down below. As I've said before, this is kind of a blind playthrough, so I'm sort of winging it. If you've got some better ideas of how I should be doing things, leave them below and I'll check them out. Until then, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.